morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading session. The market's just opening up. Yesterday it turned out to be a little bit of a roller coaster, especially near the close, when the market made a rather dramatic decline during the afternoon session. Most of the morning it was Dullsville, and then even through most of the afternoon. Nice little rule of three setup here, actually, on the Eagle, telling you that the market was likely to turn over, but I don't think anybody really expected the bottom to fall out like that. Slight recovery going into the close, very, very quiet through the Asian and London sessions, and here we are. So here's actually our first in-sync Eagle signal. For those of you who like to follow that signal, there's your first buying opportunity. Let's see, can I even set up to take that? Ooh, I can. It's a little steep, and of course it's very, very early, but there it is. And we do have an opportunity at a second push entry on that one. Got a corresponding macro pullback signal here on the Hawk right out of the gate, and a late filter entry signal also here on the open. And not to mention, the number one signal occurred right here. This is a pseudo hard edge bounce, however, on the Raptor, also out of the open. So a few signals suggesting maybe the market's going to try to claw back some of that decline from yesterday. It's still very early, though. The market just opening up a couple minutes ago, so any trade that you take right now is going to be a little bit of a flyer. All right, here shall we demo the first Eagle signal? So all the first Eagle signal is the first in-sync Eagle signal of the day. And everyone can thank Russell for spotting that. He was the one who brought it to my attention. How the first signal of the day, the one that's in sync, so notice the band is bullish here. So here's the first in sync buy signal. And the market giving a nice little follow through there, certainly enough to find our high probability profit target. Down here as well, the market open here would have been the first in sync signal. This one occurring about 20 minutes after the open, but again, very good follow through. We'll go back one more day here. Was the market open here yet? Yes, so this is our first in-sync signal, and again, at least enough follow through to find the high probability profit objective. So it's not that the trade works all the time, but it works a lot of times. You just have to have the nerve to actually step up and do it right out of the open, which is not always so easy. I think where we're at here around this 6,000 zone kind of puts us right near the middle of yesterday's range. If you look at yesterday's highs being here near the 620 area, 60.20, the lows around 59.66. We're pretty much right in the middle of the trading range. Never an easy place to trade. The middle of the range, often a little bit too neutral. They're flip-flopping on the signals a little bit now. The hawk actually producing a counter-trend signal. That's the number 2 signal. So it looks like maybe the sellers are going to step up here first. I find that in regards to the number 2 signal, even though this one did find its profit objective, which is the hard edge of the trading band, I find that the number 2 signals tend to work out better when they follow a number 3, a hard edge bounce. And that's sort of what we're working on here. We're still getting sell warning dots, not a buy warning dot, but we have reacted to the hard edge. Of course, you should never be rushed to get into a trade. That's always a bad scenario. Okay, I think I'm going to cancel that order for now. Okay, so whenever we encounter the hard edge of the trading band, we always anticipate a reaction. I wonder if that was the reaction right there, or if we're going to get another one. So we're getting closer to the overnight lows. We should anticipate a little reaction. This may be a cloud crossover that's forming. Right now it does look as though we're in a little bit more of a seller's market. So the hawk just gave a first micro-macro cross lower. Okay, well, there's a rather substantial decline in play. The eagle now turning over on the band, so we've gotten a lot more bearish. So our first in sync signal here is likely to be a sell signal. Well, everything's slowing again. Oh, we got the crossover sell signal here now on the Raptor. The problem with this signal is going to be trying to cover the trade. A second push entry is probably advisable. So all that means is we allow the signal to engage and then we enter below the current low, looking for some renewed momentum to bring us into the market. If there's no momentum, then no trade. All right, so the number one signal obviously not following through. Starting to look a little bit more like we're going to have a range-bound market today. Falcon already giving a trend change there. Way to go, Mark. Mark killing it out of the gate here. Nicely done. Mark says the Falcon trend change signal paid off again. $500 this time on 4 contracts. That would be this signal right here that Mark's talking about. And Mark says, got a great week going so far. Yes, you certainly do. And he bagged another 250 on a divergence signal in the hawk. He says, I'm done this morning unless something else looks too good to miss. Well done, Mark. So here now the quick little trend change signal on the Falcon. And, you know, it's almost advisable today, if you're going to look to take any signal, look to do a second push on the signal. The trend currently does seem to be down unless you're looking at the longer term trend, which seems to be up. So again, I think that's causing the market to bounce around here a little bit. These lows here at around the 59.75 area are going to be kind of close to where the market tried to recover yesterday. So we're getting some buying coming back into the market as the buyers try to shore up the market a bit. But you can see the reaction again. We're into the hard edge of the trading band, and that's giving us a little bit of trouble. Okay, so here now the first in-sync eagle signal looking to sell. And you do have a chance to add a second push entry on that. If you wanted to be extra careful, you could make the market turn the ATR over. You can see that right now, the ATR against the position, offering some support down there. You'll find that a lot of your better signals will come when the ATR is in sync with the signal. I know Mike Filigaro, who likes to trade the stock market, especially with the Eagle, likes to do that. And he will sometimes buy and sell regardless of how the band is stacked, but so long as the signal is in sync with the ATR. Okay, that second push retreating, the Falcon signal actually no longer valid unless you wanted to treat this as an early trend change signal, but we are getting a counter trend signal now here in the Raptor. This is going to be our number 2 signal. So we've had a retest of the low, and now we're looking for the market to rally. They slipped me a tick, which I'm not real happy about. And back into the hard edge. Okay, so we're struggling a little. The hard edge, of course, the target for the counter trend signal, but I'm trying to get a full-on reversal going here. Well, we come back with another number 3 signal. All right, which way is it going to tip? If I can get one more push here, it will be time to start rolling the stops up. In fact, I may even just put my break even above there. Oh dear, here comes another number 3 signal. Okay, last chance for the buyers. I could roll my stop below this little swing right here. That would take a little bit of risk out of the trade. Doggone it, the sellers just do not want to let go. So I'm trying to be extra patient with my stops. Pretty sure if we take out the low of the morning here, the market will reverse and stop me out. Come on, get going. We'll give them a little shove. There you go, get up there. You can do it. getting ready with a more aggressive stop strategy. Oh, look at that. Just holding right at the number. There we go. All right. So managed to get the trade to break even. I'll take profit if I can get it, but I would not be surprised to see the market try to recover to the high of the day, maybe even here to the resistance zone at 59.96, 3/4. First hurdle, the median line. No, don't come back on me now after all that. Get going. Get away from there. Here we go. Here, we'll just give it a little push. Get over that median line. Feel like I'm at a horse race, cheering for my horse. Come on, let's go. This is a definite stumbling block here, the median line. I did not think it would hold it to the number. I thought we would fudge it a little bit, at least enough to get to my profit objective. I can see 59.90 being a little bit of a trouble spot. Just because, again, it's kind of falling in the middle of the daily range. Right? Even if you just eyeball it, it looks like 59.90 kind of falling in the middle there. No, look at that. The stinkers are not going to give it to me. Oh well. All that. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to stay bullish on the market or if this is going to develop into a rather extended bear flag. That's almost how this consolidation is looking. After all, we did have a pretty aggressive move to the downside, didn't we? And right now, it seems the buyers a little bit more reluctant to rally than the sellers are to push the market lower. Oh, sure. Now they're going to break through. So had I left my break even in its original position, I would not have been tagged on that. So I got to make a note about that in my journal. I would have at least found the profit objective. You may interpret this as an early cloud crossover. The cloud's crossing, we're getting that little bit of a pullback. It just depends how anxious you are to get into the market. Like I said, we're kind of in the middle of the range here right now, so it's a little dicey. That would be one of those advanced signals. It's not going to print as a number one signal, or at least I don't believe it will. But it would probably look something like this. So I'm just anticipating that these warning dots are going to produce a triangle and hash mark. Oh, see, they didn't. Not yet. And, you know, now it's so far along that maybe I should just wait for the proper cloud crossover. Cloud's crossing a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to see a little bit of a pullback, I think. This bar is getting a little more bearish. We'll see a little bit of a pullback, and maybe now we'll get our official cloud crossover signal. Okay, so let's clear that. So the cloud's crossing, we've got the pullback. We're going to look for prices to rally out of this now. If, in fact, the uptrend is going to continue. And the hawk in a macro pullback, the eagle right into the trading band. The eagle actually giving us a green bar sell now. Going back to that earlier downtrend, and here perhaps on the eagle you can see how this is looking maybe a little bit more like a bear flag. And you've got an opportunity now for a second push entry on the signal as well. Can I cover it up there? Oh, I can too. Look at that. So you could be looking to enter on the next push lower. If you wanted to be a little extra safe, you could enter below the ATR. All right, well, here, let's take a look at this one. There's a lot of support down here. Like I say, we're just hovering around the middle of today's range, which I don't like trading here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll catch a lucky break. The hawk into yellow bars. The falcon trend line starting to change. All right, so we are short now on the eagle. We'll see whether or not we get any follow through. First hurdle, the ATR here at 59.81 3/4, essentially 59.82. So we're getting a little bit of a bullish push now, and you can see why a lot of times it's advisable to actually let the ATR turn over. The sellers owe me one more push lower from this decline here. We did break a significant low, or a reasonably significant swing low. So it would be nice to see the sellers give me one more move to the downside before giving up, if in fact they are giving up. All right, so here they go. They're going to try to recover the trend. I can probably become a little bit more aggressive with my stops at this point. After all, if they fail and take out these highs, there's a pretty good chance I'll be on the wrong side of the market. I would like to see another bear bar form here, however. Another selling bar. Oh, the buyers are just so strong here this morning. They're pushing, not really gaining a whole lot, but they're certainly pushing. See what I mean by not gaining is every rally up, they've gained a couple of points, but nothing really significant. So while they're bullish, they're not overly bullish, at least not yet. Not really missing anything. A lot of sideways trading you can see here. Look at the hawk. Just back and forth, back and forth. More yellow bars coming in, so that kind of voids the first micro-macro cross signal that was forming. The Falcon trend line all over the place. The Raptor. The clouds twisting up like a rope here. Technically, we did produce a cloud crossover signal right here. And it looks like we might have found our profit objective. No, not quite yet. There we go. So a little bit of a bullish push now. Yeah, Floyd, right you are. Floyd says, I told you it'd be slow the day before Fed Day. And right you are in the market. Not really committing one way or the other. So we've reached our profit objective off this cloud crossover signal. Now we're kind of dragging our heels a bit. If we do have a trading range here, it looks like this is probably near the top end of the range, and sellers are going to try to move the market a little bit lower. Okay, so the seller's now taking their turn. Again, nothing significant here, but a little bit of a push lower. I suppose it would be prudent to roll my stops at least a little. Well, if the buyers make one more push, then that's going to be it. That's going to tag me out. The sellers need to get serious. Let's see, what's the Geiger counter up to? Oh dear, Geiger counter. Full on bullish. And we are producing a hard edge buy signal, but it would be advisable to use a second push entry on your trades today. So let the market prove to you that it has enough momentum to engage the signal. Go back here to all the action on the Eagle. As I struggle to hold on to the highs, it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of selling going on. So it looks like I'm going to get tagged here. Stephen having a bit of a tough day today. Says I'm up 5 days in a row, but today I'm down. I should have stayed in bed. Yeah, it's a crazy kind of day today. Like I said, all these signals, they're developing within the middle of the trading range. That's always such a difficult place to trade. It literally is a crapshoot. The market had as good a chance to go down as it did to go up. You need a wide stop. You need to sit on that stop for a long time. Steve says, I missed that first short. That was the best trade. Yeah, it's difficult to take though. Like, everybody's different. Mark doesn't seem to have any trouble taking those early trades. I'm a little hesitant taking those first trades out of the gate, even though I know a lot of times they work out. For me, I'm a little bit more comfortable if I have a little bit more structure to work with. Now, if the market is moving sideways, the good news is that we're near the top end of the trading range. This is where sellers would be inclined to sell, buyers being inclined to buy down here. The best stop placement is still above the high. Anything else is within the range of the market. Oops. This is the last chance for the sellers to try to recover that earlier trend. Right now, I'm not really thinking profit. I'm thinking break even. Well, we're still spending a lot of time sideways, and as Floyd pointed out earlier, we are the day before Fed Day, so that's going to put a wrinkle in today's trading. Prices recovering the earlier decline. I'm hoping to see the market settle in a little bit and maybe get back down here toward the 59.82 area, which again is halfways in the trading zone, the trading range. Oh, thank goodness for you guys following the news. I'd be blissfully unaware of world events. Ken letting me know that Trump's been speaking at the UN for 45 minutes. Well, we just celebrated the 100-year anniversary of the First World War, didn't we? There's some people that contend that major wars occur every 100 years. I certainly hope not. My parents living through World War II, I heard all the horror stories, and it's certainly nothing I would like to experience. All right, we're getting a little bit of a bearish push now. Let's see whether they can follow through on this. There's going to be some support near the hard edge. And I think we have a resistance line nearby. Yes, we do. So the median line sitting at around 59.87-ish. And that's very close to the hard edge of the trading band. Yeah, not getting any love for my short position here, as it looks like we're getting a little bit of a reaction to the hard edge, a little early reaction. thought at the very least it would drift into the hard edge, but not yet anyway. Got a red bar buy here in the hawk. Those tend to develop near the end of a trend, so maybe a little bit of hope for the my short position on the eagle, if in fact this holds, this red bar buy signal, that it actually unwinds to the short side. Well, boys and girls, I think we're going to close up shop here for the morning. Just a typical pre-Fed kind of day, and I think you can anticipate more sideways trading, although, as I mentioned, I do believe the sellers owe us one more move to the short side. So if you're inclined to take a position, you may try to capitalize here on a test of the extreme. I know we've already printed a number 2 signal, that's the counter trend signal, but I'd feel maybe a little bit more comfortable if another counter trend signal developed here. I would not get crazy to the short side. I think it's very realistic that the market will finish the day on a rather neutral sideways kind of note. So my objective for this trade is to try to get it back to break even, maybe even with a small profit. What I'll do is I'll bring my profit order in here, maybe just scalp out with a profit if I can, if they'll give me that much. Like I said, one more move lower, maybe even getting as low as the 59.80 area is possible. So on that note, we'll close up the trading room for the day, and I will see you again tomorrow. And hopefully the market will loosen up a little bit, but I think Thursday, Friday are actually going to be our better trading days. All right, I will see you then. Bye for now.